Welcome to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost with me, Charly Leetham. If you're a small business owner looking to simplify technology and get real, actionable advice from someone with 35 years of IT experience, you're in the right place. Every episode, I'll dive into tools and systems like email, CRM, marketing and tracking, and I'll break them down into bite-sized tips you can use straight away. Your time is valuable, so let's get straight to the point. It's time to work smarter, not harder. Rise and shine. It's your daily dose of business tech inspiration with me, Charly Leetham. Episode number 563. I'm going to loop back to Zoho WorkDrive today. We're going to talk a little bit about Zoho WorkDrive. I did a very, very, very quick intro to it a couple of weeks ago when I was talking about how to find folders and join public folders within your team drive on WorkDrive. Didn't really explain what it was, and haven't really given a good walkthrough of it. So today I'm going to try and do that. That's in response to a client question about what is WorkDrive and will it do what I want it to do. So let's get into it. I'm going to explain a little bit, and then I'm going to show you a little bit about WorkDrive and how you can use it and such. And this is just an introductory video today. Any of the real details I'm going to probably dig down into over the coming weeks. But what is WorkDrive? WorkDrive is a secure file collaboration system. It basically is very, very similar to Google Drive and to Microsoft OneDrive. Each of them do things slightly differently. Each of them have their own pros and each of them have their own cons, or each has their own strengths and weaknesses. I use WorkDrive because it's part of the Zoho product suite. It integrates nicely into everything that I'm using it for. And I actually really like some of the collaboration features on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share a little bit. I'm going to share the sales page for Zoho WorkDrive. We're going to talk a little bit about it. And then I'm probably going to flip to my WorkDrive and just show you some of the small features that we have. Some of the small features that are available that I use it for. Let's see how this goes today. I don't want to overwhelm or just keep talking about stuff and have a really long video. So if this is good for you, let me know. If not, ask questions and I will answer those specific questions. That's what I really like doing, is being able to help people dig into the things that are out there. If you're interested in WorkDrive, I'm going to say this right up front now. There is a link in the show notes that has got my affiliate link. I do get a small commission if you buy from that link, if you sign up from that link and take a paid program. Let's hop on and have a look. So yeah, like all good things, it gives us a pop-up and says, do you want more information? So zoho.com/workdrive, there is a link in my show notes, which is my affiliate link, as I said. What is it? It's an intelligent content management platform for secure collaborative work. Really cool words, right? What do those words mean? It means that you can put files in there, you can share them with other people, you can edit them, you can collaborate on work, and it is secure. It is your WorkDrive. Unless you share out the files with other people, they can't get access to it. Unless you share those files in folders that are already shared with your team and mark them as ready to go, no one else will be able to see the files that you are working on. I will come back to that in just a moment. That is a really cool little feature that often trips us up in my team. So what have you got? We've got team. So you notice here it says get WorkDrive for individuals. You can take most of these features just for yourself. You don't get the team folders, of course, but you get most of these other features available to you for use as well. So team folders, you can share, you can have folders set up that different parts of your teams or different teams within your organization can access, keeps everything compartmentalized and segmented so that only people who need access to certain files will get access to those files. If they don't need access, you don't need to give that access out. There is a desktop app. I actually run one of those apps, it syncs between my computer and my WorkDrive. I can save to my WorkDrive, my computer, and it will automatically go up into the cloud. I can download it from the cloud automatically. I can say, oh, that's in the cloud, open it up, edit it, save it, it goes back up into the cloud. I don't have to worry about trying to download it, save it off. Where did I save it? It's all there. It's a link on my phone. It's a drive on my file on my system that says this is your WorkDrive. Here's all your files. There is an admin console, and we're not going to go into what WorkDrive 5 is, mostly because this is just an update on the system, and we're going to be covering a lot of that. I'm not going to go down any further on here. What we're going to do is we're going to go and have a look at all the features. It's the easiest way to do this. You'll notice that when this comes up for me, it says access WorkDrive. That's because I already have WorkDrive. If you don't, it will say get WorkDrive or something similar. What can you do? You can work as a team. You can store information as a team. You can assign role-based access, so only people who need access will get it. We can do subfolder level sharing to ensure members have access to exactly what they need. So if you've got a top-level file and you folder, and you're working on a specific project, and that's in this one folder over here, and you just need Mary from accounts to have access to this one file, this one folder, you can give her access to that one folder. If you wanted to have access to that one file, you can give her access to that one file. She doesn't need to see the whole of it to be able to get access to the information that she needs. And that's the same for your whole team. It also has notifications. You'll get notified of any changes and send updates on anything happening in your team. So you can focus on your work, and when the updates come through, you'll get the notifications. And there's also a really great revisioning system within WorkDrive. So if you've uploaded a file and overwritten it and think, oh no, I needed something out of the original version, you can actually get the original version and get that information out of it. It is a fully featured Office suite. I don't know if I actually mentioned that in my intro. So Writer is like Microsoft Word or Google Docs. You create a Word document or create a document. You can edit it. It's fully... I'm not going to say it's as fully featured as Microsoft Word. It's got a lot of the features of Microsoft Word. It's got a couple of different features in it. One of the things that I really like about it is that you can actually publish to your WordPress website using the integration. I haven't tried it yet, mostly because I run a page builder and it doesn't work with my page builder because it's not within the WordPress system. I can see absolute benefits of doing this, though. If you're trying to write blog posts and you've got your standard editor, perfect. Write it in Writer and then publish it to your WordPress blog. My sheet, it's like a spreadsheet, complex data analysis. It opens XLS, XLSW, XLSX. I also use it to bring in all my comma-separated, my text files, my comma-separated value files, and open them up to read them. It does graphs, it does charts, it does pivot tables. So you've got a spreadsheeting functionality in there as well. What I haven't said as I've gone through this is that if you do have a doc, like a docx or an XLSX file, or a doc or an XLS file, you can upload it to Drive. It can do an automatic conversion if you want. I'll cover that in a minute, whether you should or you shouldn't. But it will also give you the option that you can open this in Writer or in Sheet, and it will give you a copy of that file that you can edit within these tools. Microsoft Show, Zoho Show. It's a presentation. You can create slides and you can do presentations using Zoho Show. Okay, so we can share. It's shared yet secure. You can define which members of your team have access. You can give specific members specific access. There is even the ability to share these folders with people outside of the organization. We can share the folders, you can share the files, you can share subfolders. Really, really, really powerful stuff, and it really helps keep your organization secure. I mentioned previously the versioning and the unlimited version history. To give you an example of how this works, we will work on, for example, my social media posts, and I'll get one of my team members to work on the social media posts for me, and they'll put up graphics, and I'll say, no, I don't like that. This doesn't work for me. This doesn't work. And rather than putting up different versions of the same file with different file names and then me wondering which one is the most recent, all we do is we overwrite the existing file. And I got my comments on it, and for each revision you can see the comment for each revision. You can see the latest version on there, and then if I want to go back and look at the older versions, I can actually go into the versioning and say show me the one that was three days ago, and it will show me all of the versions that are there, and I can say, yeah, I actually liked this from this version, so can we put that back in? So the versioning capabilities on this is amazing. The fact that you don't have to have 100 different files. If you've done 100 different versions, you don't have 100 different files. You've got one file, and under that you've got all of the versions for that file. Saves so much time, energy, and effort. You've also got a cool feedback and commenting feature within the system. So again, my social media posts or graphics, this is a really good example of it. I'll use the commenting feature to say, yep, I like this. This is approved. No, I want this changed. I don't like this. Can we try this wording? And it goes on to the graphic that's been created. My team can see it. They can comment back. We can have a discussion on that particular thing. It doesn't get lost. It's all together. And then when it's finally approved, we say approved. We mark it as ready to go. And all those comments are still there. We can mark them as resolved, but they're still there to be seen. So we can see how it was developed over time. The one thing, I mentioned this before when we were talking, the draft before publishing, this has tripped my team up no end. You don't have to, if you're working on something and you don't want people sneak peeking at it, sneaking a peek at something while you're working on it, you can be working on it, only you will see it until you do this mark as ready functionality. It's a draft. It will sit in draft, and when you do that, only you can see the files that you are working on that are in draft. Once you mark it as ready, it will go into the team folder, and everyone else will be who has access can see it. This has tripped us up any number of times when my team's been working on something. One of my team members has worked on something. They've forgotten to mark it as ready. They've sent me a message saying, this is ready to look at. And I go, no, I can't see it. And they've had to go in and mark it as ready for me. I'm laughing because it's such a simple thing. It's such a powerful feature, but it's such a simple thing. You've got heaps of collaboration. You can use check-in, check-out features to temporarily prevent others from editing your file. So sometimes collaborative editing doesn't work. Sometimes you just need to do big changes, and you just need to be able to work through on the document, get it to a point and say to someone, okay, now I'm ready for your input, even after it's been published and you've been working on it. So you can check it out, and once you've checked it out, no one else will be able to edit that until you check it back in. Really nice function. There is a full audit facility as well, activity report. You can see what's been done on a file, what's been done on a folder, even down to who externally has been accessing files. Now, it may not necessarily tell you which external user, but it will tell you that someone external accessed this file on this date and time. Lots of file formats that you can use. I'm not going to go into them, but apparently there's 220 different, or more than 220 different file formats that you can look at for your WorkDrive. Great. The search functionality is actually pretty good. You can look at a whole heap of things, search for a whole heap of things, and it also uses OCR and object detection to locate images and scan documents by simply searching with a keyword. Using labels and colors, you can categorize your files. So even if you've created the folder system and it's categorized down to like these folders are for this particular function of the business, you can then categorize it down even further using your labels and your colors. I'm sorry, I'm just going to flick through some of these. I mean, there's just so much available there. Okay. Oh, the external sharing, that's what I really wanted to get to here. So I was talking about external sharing. You can actually create individual share links. Now you can create them for a particular group of people. You can create them for one person. You can just create a link that you share to everyone. But the idea here is that, you can share a link. You can set you can set it, you can set a password protect on it. You can set an expiration date on it. You can allow downloads for that. If you don't want someone to download it, you just want them to be able to view it. If you don't want them to be able to print it, you don't have to. You can turn that functionality off, and all they'll be able to do is view it. They won't be able to download it. They won't be able to print it. You can also ask them to give you data about who they are, their name, telephone number, email, or any combination of those. It's it's pretty cool. It's a really nice way of handling sharing data outside of your organization. Okay, was there anything else I wanted to do on this? No. I am going to quickly, because I don't like just doing marketing stuff here. I know I've spent a lot of time doing the marketing here. Look, it's telling us we've got to give them a call if we're interested. I'm going to flick across to my WorkDrive now and just give you a quick look at what it looks like in the back end. I like the clean interface. I know it doesn't necessarily appeal to a lot of people or some people, but I like the clean interface. If I just look here, this is my file system. So there will be stuff that is blurred out here as we go along. Ryan, can you just make sure we protect the sensitive information? Thanks, love. But we can start with the all unread folder or option at the top here, and you can see all unread. I've got a whole heap of files and information here that's been unread. I'm going to go to processes, and I'm going to drop my processes down, and you can see that I've got 3 files that my team has created here. I haven't looked at them clearly. I don't know if I need to. I might not need to, but they're there. I can see what's gone into that folder. I can see how many edits have been done on a particular file since it was shared last, or whether it's new. And the other thing I can do is just mark them as read to say that they have been unread, or mark the entire folder as read if I'm finished with it. Under recent files, you can see everything that's been added, changed, modified in the time that you last looked, or sorry, in the last little bit. So yeah, you can look at the time here and see when it was all done. There's a whole heap of stuff. I don't know how useful that is to you. I tend not to, because we are quite busy. Favorites is nice if you've got documents that you work on all the time, or something that you're working on and you don't want to have to go through the folder system to find it. You can just set it as a favorite, and it will appear in your favorites list up here. I'm actually going to show you how to set that for one of my folders, I hope, in just a moment. I mentioned labels. I don't use labels in my system. I might end up doing that, but this is where you manage your labels. I can have a look at what's been shared with me. Of course, nothing has been shared with me because I share things with other people. Okay, collect files. I hadn't touched on this one. This is actually really neat. If you have the requirement to have people send you files, and they don't have a foldering system, they don't have a system like this, they don't use Drive, they don't use OneDrive, they don't have WorkDrive, and to send larger files on some of those file sending platforms, you've got to have a paid account. If you want them just to send you information, you can actually create a collection and get them to collect data, get them to upload it straight to your WorkDrive. You would do that by creating a collection. I'm just going to quickly create one here. So collect files from my team, or collect files from external. So no sign is required to do this. Anyone on the internet can do it. Just going to do a test demo. I can give it a description. I can put notes on it. I can say, where do I want to put this? So I can put it into my folders, or I can change it, and I can choose which team folder and which subfolder in that team. So let's just go to tutorials, for example. And I can choose which folder I want it to be uploaded to here. I am, for now, just going to cancel out and use my folders test demo. I can request user data, so they do have to give me a name when they're uploading it. I also probably want them to give me an email just in case I need to follow up with them on it. Or if I don't recognize the name, I might recognize the email address. Create a separate folder for every unique user based on their username, so you can actually have things depending on what information you collect here. It can be name or email, but you can select it and say, oh, so Sally's uploading this, that's going to go into Sally's folder, and Jeff's uploading this, that's going to go into Jeff's folder. Set a limit on the number of files each user can upload. At the moment, there is no limit. And set a limit on the upload file size. Default 100 meg. What's the biggest we can do? As you can see, because of my level within WorkDrive, I can go right up to 250 megabytes they can upload to me. We can set an expiration date and notify me on every user submission. That's probably important. If you're waiting for someone to send you stuff and they send it to you and they forget to tell you, you don't want it sitting there and you forget that you've got to go and check. So it's going to tell me that someone's uploaded. So if I just hit that, now if I copy that link, this is what I would send to someone. What I'm going to do very quickly is just open a private window. I'm going to paste that link in, and you can see here that it's asking me to send it stuff. So, oops, I'm going to put my information in. I'm going to click next. And then what that does is that gives me the ability to drag and drop or put files in, and that can send them to me. So I'm using my own file systems to get information from people who wouldn't necessarily be able to send me these files. It's such a nice little feature. Great for project-based work. Great for so many things. I really like that feature. I'm not going to cover workflows today, mostly because it's new. As you can see, it's in beta, and I don't really want to get into it in this video. The last thing that I am going to quickly cover before I finish off today is the fact that we have two sets of folders here. We've got the My folders, which are my own personal folders. These are mine on my WorkDrive. No one else but me can see them. I can upload, I can download to them, I can access them on my phone, but unless you're logged in as me, you're not going to be able to see them. If you're one of my team members, you're not going to be able to see these. I can absolutely share a folder, I believe. Let me just check that. Share. Click on the share link. There we go. I can share a folder to collaborators. I can share it to anyone in the team, or I can share it to anyone on the internet. So I do have that ability in my own private folders, but these are for me only. They're not shared with the team. People can't just come in and look at them if they're part of a group. The team folders are the ones that you can set up to share with your team members, and you can make them very, very granular. I'm going to come back tomorrow and explain that one to you a little bit further. I think I've done more than enough today. Okay, guys, so that's WorkDrive. That's what that gives you the ability to do. The only thing it doesn't give you the features of is to create forms on your spreadsheets so that people can send you information and put it straight into your spreadsheets. That's a different feature. That's the only thing it doesn't do. Not everything does that though, so it's a trade-off really. I really like the features, in case you haven't gathered. I use Drive, I use WorkDrive. I can use them interchangeably. I've just found WorkDrive works best for my organization. I would love to know though, what did you find in this that was of interest to you? What do you want to know more about? What don't you want to hear anything more about? Any questions, comments, feedback, please come across to my community. AskCharlyLeetham.locals.com and join the conversation there. If you don't want to do that, you can always leave comments wherever you're watching or listening to this video. If this video has been useful to you, please give it a like. And if you haven't done so already, I would appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so you find out when I drop more content. Thanks, guys. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye. Hey there, thanks so much for tuning in to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost. I hope today's episode gave you some actionable insights that will make your business tech work smarter for you. If you found value, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other small business owners who could use a daily boost. For more tips, tools, and resources, visit www.askcharlyleetham.com. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and let's make tech simple together.